Hello traders and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 90. It's almost 100 and as always I'm super excited to have you here, and here we are with another video in which we're gonna have a look at the market, how it developed this week, what opportunities did we have, and what we can expect potentially for the upcoming week. This one was a pretty nice one. We had a lot of volatile moves and I banked around 4%. I had an amazing trade on EU which I'm gonna break down for you as well, and a lot others on Aussie dollar and NZD. The GBPs were rather tricky this week, but we had some little setups there as well. So I'm gonna try to break down as much as possible and provide you with as much value and actionable tips as possible. If you are new to the channel, it's all about trading. I share this weekly outlook and setups every Saturday, and once per week I give my best to share an educational piece of content. So make sure you are subscribed, hit the notification bell in order not to miss anything. And if you haven't checked my correlation video that I released this week, make sure to do so. I'm gonna leave a card, and make sure to check the description because I just released a free course as well on market structure and price action. So make sure to go there, register, and have a look at it because I think it's going to be really valuable, especially for beginner and intermediate traders. All right, right now it's time to get into the market. Alright, as always, starting with a DXY to have a look what is the positioning of price right there. If you remember, for a couple of volumes I have been calling the 92 and 92,500 handle, and we got that hit to perfection this week. And as you can see, the precision right now, we are reacting from it and forming like it is a bearish week, as you can see, but it's a nice rejection on top, which I really like. And if you can imagine the next week, what it could look like, potentially it could be a nice evening star. So we can open with a little bit push to the upside, and then we can create a nice candle to the downside that is leaving a wick behind, something like this. So that will be really nice to see. So definitely looking for more for sellers on the dollar. However, you can see that on the daily though. This is what happens when you translate from the weekly onto the daily. The daily is actually change structure to the upside. All right, so that is a little bit of a problem because we had this downtrend that was broken, higher high, higher low, massive pump into the highs to create a higher high, and right now we're pulling back potentially to create a higher low. But again, this is why I said at the beginning on the weekly time frame, we are gonna have a wick to the upside that is potentially gonna fail to break this high. Okay, so basically we can even have a double top, or we can have something like this, a resistance level around right there, and then we can potentially break to the downside if the dollar is gonna go down. A level to be mindful of on the dollar is this demand area right there around 91 round handle, and if we potentially actually open and push inside that area, then we can expect a bullish reaction as well. Then drop, okay, I'm gonna fix this one for the next pair. If we drop to the hourly time frame, you can see that this market opened around 8th of March. We pumped into the highs, we created the high, we pulled back, so still right there we are trading in a bullish market. But then as you can see, that formation, the market failing to make a higher high, just creating a lower high and then strongly breaking below. Right, where did it retest? It retested this broken structure right there, reacted to perfection from it, and currently this looks like a lower high on the 4 hourly. All right, so we have kind of a bit of a confusion between all the different time frames. Weekly is potentially shorts, daily is longs, and the 4 hourly is in a downtrend right now. So that is really nice to see. What are some levels that I'm going to be monitoring? Potentially this is not yet a confirmed lower high. Why? Because it hasn't created a lower low, and currently our major level is this one. All right, around 92.1. So the market pulled back and is already showing us some signs of potentially pulling away. Therefore, I'm going to mark this level right there, and I'm going to see how the market is going to open. As I said, from the weekly time frame, I would expect a little wick to be created to the upside. Therefore, we can start with a little push to the upside, maybe to form a double top right there, or maybe to even come deeper to retest that area and then to potentially push down. Therefore, on the daily, we're gonna have a pullback and then potentially tap into the demand area, and then maybe from the weekly we're gonna have then a potential selling bias. So therefore, on the DXY, I'm gonna be patient and really wait on Monday to see what's gonna happen. I am more on the bearish side, right? But then again, I expect shorts on euro, therefore we can have some bulls come in, right? And then in terms of a 4 hourly time frame, this right there, oops, not this one, this is a very strong demand area as well that I want you to have marked. Again, it kind of corresponds to the daily, which was 91, and then we have this one a little bit above it. All right, so currently those are the three levels that I'm going to be monitoring on the DXY: the major 4 hourly lower high, the most recent that is currently being created, and then the demand areas on the daily and the 4 hourly. All right, so as always, make sure to flow with the market and trade what you see. Euro dollar weekly time frame, again very similar to the DXY, just inversed. We have this level of 1.19 and we even went further to tap around 18,500, so this is really nice. And if you remember, I have been calling this level for quite some time and we just tapped inside it, and as you can see, a very beautiful bullish reaction. Therefore, again, from the weekly time frame, we could be expecting a potential high. All right, keep in mind that though on the left we are encountering a very big resistance as well, so currently it is really crucial to see what's going to happen, because there are a lot of sellers coming from that level. But then again, the weekly time frame right there, the most recent price action is still bullish. All right, so we definitely have to give some more time for the weekly time frame to develop and to really see where the market wants to go. In terms of a daily time frame, what do we have right now? As you can see right here, for a couple of weeks ago, we had this massive spike above that really indicated the market is failing to continue above. It took out all the liquidity that was resting right there, stopped out all the people that were already short, and then we just created this massive sell-off right there, little pullback, and then another massive sell-off to the downside. And then actually we can see that for Monday, we had that bearish week that actually tapped us inside this strong demand area right there. And then we had 3 days of bullish price action. I actually took a short. It was a very quick one, and yeah, you can see on Friday that we're having a little bit of a pullback. So a level to be mindful on the daily is this big zone right there. Why? Because this is when the market really created that big push to the downside. Have a look at the volume of those candles. Massive, massive, massive. Therefore, a lot of sellers were entering around, yeah, let's say 2500. 1.2500 will be a pretty nice area to monitor, and then dropping to the 4 hourly time frame. Let me first explain my trade. So what I actually had in mind is shorts, further shorts on euro dollar, because I saw that the market opened right there on the 7th of March. We pulled back just with one candle and then we created this massive sell-off right there. So I was actually looking for the market to come and revisit this area right there. So what I did, as the market was tapping inside it, I actually took a short. Then dropping to the hourly time frame, let me just delete this big area right there. Dropping to the hourly time frame, I even went right there to examine further how does the market react from those areas right there on this 4 hourly level. And I saw that the market pushed strongly to the downside, pulled back for a little bit, and then exploded down. So what I did is I marked this little indecision candle, which is another demand area. And as you can see, the market tapped inside, but kind of failed to really push lower. We pushed lower, but then we broke above. There were some longs right there actually, and then we strongly pushed into the highs, and this was a very nice manipulation trade. We had some speeches as well, and then as well I went even to the 5 minute to have a look where precisely this move started. And if I really zoom in, you're gonna see that this is where the move started right there. So I actually marked this sort of level, and if we go to the left, you can see how precisely it hit. So basically my entry was taken right there. I think it was 240. I'm gonna share the MT4 stats as well. My stop loss was, I'm not sure how much it was, I think 8 pips or something, and then I rode it to the downside like this. And actually I didn't bank, it was 4.5% I think my overall RNR, but I left a little partial and it got stopped me out around these areas right there, so around 4% on this trade. And then actually I regretted not taking the long on the other side because the market just exploded up. And then we had quite a lot of other opportunities that were provided. Let me just show you. Going back to the hourly time frame, you can see how the market then starts to trend up. All right, so we had that pushed above, creating a higher high, creating a higher low, another higher high. So basically this turns into your major, oops, not the fib, this turns into your major higher low, and then the market strongly taps inside. This is Frankfurt manipulation, and then we massively explode to the upside. Then right there were another 2 beautiful trades that we took with the community. The first one was a short from the top right there. Let me break down for you. Have a look right here where that move originates, but actually if you drop to the 15 minute and I take you a little bit on the left, this is the actual level that we looked at, this little candle right there, because you can see this is when the actual leg to the downside started. And if we translate this on the left, you can see how the market taps inside. And this was happening around the ECB monetary policy statement and interest rate decision. And as you can see how the market beautifully consolidated right there, had a little fake below and then that fake above. So we basically took our trade from right here. The stop loss was actually we had a zone, so the stop loss was something like this. I'm not sure how much it was. And then we rode it to the downside inside another level that actually we took a beautiful long. I think it was actually the level that we looked at. It was on the 5 minute where again another leg started. So basically another long trade was taken from here, stop loss below the structure, and then we rode it to the upside above that level. So basically EU was the best pair to be traded this week, but again it is very tricky because it had to deal a lot with manipulation, all right, and all of those news releases. So definitely go have a look at those trades, examine how you can enter, and really try to understand what is happening around those key economic events, because the market tends to manipulate a lot during those times, which means that it provides a lot of great opportunities. Then back to the analysis. As I said at the beginning, I'm gonna be mindful of this little level right there because I want to see it tapped on the daily time frame, and then translating this on the 4-hourly time frame. This will be the overall area that I'm going to be looking for the market to tap, because I consider this to be a major lower high. Like you can see, we pushed up, we pulled back, lower high, pushed to the downside, little lower high, and then we actually created the move down. All right, so 2500 could definitely get tapped, and as you can see, currently we are overall trading to the upside. So definitely, if the DXY is gonna push down first, then this one could create some sort of a double bottom and then pump inside those areas, something like this, and then to potentially see it reverse from here. So definitely I'm gonna be riding EU to the upside first if it doesn't reverse completely, because on the hourly time frame we broke structure and it definitely could reverse. But if I see the market come inside around these areas, I'm gonna be selling it. All right, so make sure to stay tuned for the Tuesday analysis on Telegram, where I'm gonna explain what am I looking for the week ahead, and hopefully we're gonna have some more clear price action. Having a quick look on EJ, this is really bullish, and UJ as well is really bullish, and euro dollar had a little bit of a bullishness, and this one went on a very nice bullish streak right there. So currently I'm trying to figure out where is it actually going. All right, so my next target is actually 131 as a very nice round number right there, and also this very nice lower high formation that made a nice downtrend. So if we tap inside this area, then we can definitely have a little bit of a reaction. Oops. And in terms of the daily, we started a little bit sloppy right there. 8th of March, you can see we had plenty of consolidation from the previous week. We had that little spike above on Tuesday, and then we actually Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we had this massive bull run to the upside after the market broke the structure on the 4-hourly. All right, so basically we had all of that consolidation, and I told you guys on Tuesday and from the previous outlook as well, wait for something to happen. All right, I was actually expecting a fake below first before the reversal, but then we just had a break above, and then you can see all of those wicks that were thrown to the downside. Basically this is your opportunity, or right there on that wick. Therefore, we have to translate the market into the hourly time frame. As you can see, we broke structure, and right here we started to create a lower high formation. So how can you actually enter? Drop to the 15-minute, examine. All right, I personally don't see a trade on the 15-minute, therefore we have to drop to the 5-minute, and again examine where is the market breaking structure. So we had that strong spike to the downside, then we broke structure. The most recent is right here, and potentially if I was looking for the retest, then I would have been missed. So on EJ, no trading opportunity, unfortunately. And then the next one was kind of the same. I think some of my guys from the community actually took this one, because you can see this was the major structure. Then we had a strong break above. Then the market consolidated for a bit, tapped inside this area, and then we run off. So this is the other trades that you could have taken on EJ. But overall, nice bullish week, but not many clear opportunities. So currently in terms of structure, it's a little bit too hard with that big wick to the downside. So basically what I sometimes do with this one is I'm gonna take a simple line like this, and then I have it right there, 1 hourly low. Now this is actually 4 hourly low, so I'm gonna rename it on 4 hourly low. So as long as the market stays above that area, I'm gonna be looking for longs. All right, we can transfer to the hourly time frame as well, and then if the market creates a little bit of a pullback around those areas, I'm gonna be looking for a higher low to potentially take it higher. All right, but keep in mind that this market is getting a little bit extended. It just created a higher high, actually a swing high on the daily, so definitely we can have a little bit of a deeper pullback. So as always, make sure to flow with the market. Let Monday show you where it wants to go, and then we can strike potentially on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Let's have a look at the Aussie. Starting from the weekly time frame, we can see that we are still bullish. All right, so if you are currently marking out your structure, as I said, with this little line, this is your weekly low. So again, I have 1 hourly low, but rename it to weekly low, and that you know where you are currently trading at. All right, you can actually do the same with this high, and you can make it your weekly high. All right, so this is basically the range that you're trading. Then dropping to the daily time frame, we can see how inside a weekly range you have new price action. And this is why what I love about day trading is that you can go to the 4 hourly or the hourly, have a look how much price action you have in between those levels. and you can capitalize as much as you want. All right, but then dropping to the daily time frame, what makes sense to me right now is that we are changing a little bit to the downside, but we're still remaining that bullish sentiment. All right, as you can see, this extreme level right there where the market actually started the move was tapped inside, which is 76,500 as well, round number, and then we strongly reacted from it. All right, but then again, if we follow structure, this is currently our daily lower high. Again, go to the text, drop a daily lower high. All right, so that you know where you are currently sitting. Mark out your charts, be specific. All right, because currently we're sitting at a daily lower high, potentially the market to go down. Okay, so this is something that I'm looking at in terms of the daily. But then dropping to the 4 hourly time frame, what do we have right there from the bottom? I was calling a lot of longs. However, our good man missed his long. All right, so since this little minor structure was broken and retested, this is where I was looking for longs as well. My entry got missed. Then we had some trades right there, but I was hesitating on them. If I actually drop on the hourly time frame, let me show you guys. So you can see that this was the structure that was broken right there, and it was retested, but it actually missed it because I always have my zones very precise, and as you can see, it got missed by a little. So I was like, okay, let's not stress that out. And then on the 15-minute, I was like, okay, let's look for a re-entry. Then we broke structure, we retested, and I didn't enter from here. Then we broke structure again, and I was like, okay, do I enter right there somewhere on this retest, or maybe at the extreme where the actual move started? I was like, nah. And I was looking at other trades by that time, so definitely I could have taken that trade, stop loss below, and this could have been a very nice trade. I think some of my team actually took this one. And yeah, but I also, when the market creates 1, 2, 3 to the upside, then this is the final pullback, and you can expect that fifth wave. But I hesitated on this one. Then I was seeing this as well, this break and retest, but I didn't take this one because the market was already getting too late. So again, go on your charts and examine how you can enter this one, because this is basically a beautiful opportunity. It was the first sign of the market reversing to the upside and potentially targeting those extremes right there, which we eventually reached and actually reversed from. Right? So definitely you have to focus on just a few pairs and really to know where they are gonna reach for and how they are moving. All right, and then of course we had a lot of other opportunities. We could have taken a short from here. The market basically did that during Asian session, I believe. Yeah, it consolidated, very nice top inside, very nice break of structure, and then you can potentially take this, but I think this was too early for me. You can see 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I'm just waking up at that time, so I'm not on my chart, so I missed this beautiful short. And then right there we had some nastiness right there, but this is overall Friday, so no trading on that day. Right now, again, I'm just gonna delete it like this because I don't want to lose all of my drawings. Eventually, you can see in terms of a 4 hourly time frame, we are bullish. All right, we are bullish, but we're currently reacting from this very strong area right there. So definitely, I am gonna let Monday to show me where it wants to go. Again, in terms of a 4 hourly price action, it's a little bit difficult because we have this push. So this is our major swing. This is where we wanted to take our longs, and I missed personally on this whole move. So I really hope some of you guys actually managed to catch this one. Then we have this big wick that is still a higher low, because then we have a higher high. But I can't take this big wick like this. Therefore, I'm just gonna take what makes sense, which is this one. Okay, so what we're gonna do is this is our 4 hourly higher low. So as long as the market stays above it, we can be taking longs. So right, in terms of 4 hourly, we are already reversing down, and this is when confusion starts to kick in. Okay, therefore I'm just gonna wait a little bit to see how the market is gonna develop on Monday. Maybe we're gonna push inside right there to create a higher low, break structure, retest, and then to potentially go higher. And then eventually, in terms of a daily time frame or 4 hourly time frame, I'm gonna be looking for those extremes right there to maybe potentially take a sell from. All right, and then of course the market can pull back even deeper inside some of those areas to take a big buy from. All right, but basically this is what we have right now on Aussie dollar. Beautiful long from here and a lot of longs inside there. Beautiful short from here as a reversal trade, but right now we're sitting inside an uptrend on the 4 hourly. Therefore, let's see how Monday is gonna develop and how we can strike this pair. AJ, very simple as well. I was mentioning this big consolidation that you don't want to trade inside it. Currently, we're tapping inside this major area, and as you can see, the market is already starting to react. We have this nice break above, but then the retest, the pullback is just this big wick. All right, so this is not nice for me. On the hourly time frame, yes, you can definitely try to enter right there, and then on the 15-minute time frame, it's just a push down, and then have a look at all that price action. It's not nice. So on AJ, I didn't spot a great opportunity to actually be taken, and right now it is a little bit tricky because where is our higher low? All right, you can always drop to your line chart, but this again, this big wick is not a higher low. right? And this right here is not a higher low because it didn't make a higher high. Therefore, the market is sitting a little bit extended, and where actually the major higher low is down there. Okay, so again guys, definitely giving some time for this one to develop. Of course, we have this level right there that we can mark as our 1 hourly higher low. You can see that it kind of makes sense on the 4 hourly, but very similar to AU. I'm gonna wait and see how it's gonna react. Potentially we can have a pullback, and if it reacts from here, break structure, retest, we can head higher, maybe even for a higher high, because on the daily time frame we are bullish. We haven't made a higher high yet, and maybe we are about to reverse as well. Who knows? So again guys, as I always say, trade what you see, wait for the market to develop, let it show you where it wants to go. You don't need to know what's going to happen from Saturday, because on Monday you're going to see something completely different, and then you always have to adjust. All right, so let's see. Next on the list are the NZDs. Let's have a look. What do we have? So again, make sure to build a story. Have a look at that big wick right there. So that really signifies a lot of selling pressure in the market, tapping into some sort of a level on the left. But what it actually did, it broke all of those highs right there to take out liquidity or any stop losses that were staying above, and massively reversed to the downside. So this kind of tells me that after this big push to the upside, right now we're having a consolidation like manipulation, and then we can potentially start heading lower to retest those areas that haven't been retested, and then to eventually head higher. All right, so that is something to really note. Then dropping to the daily time frame, you can see that big push to the upside after all of that consolidation, and right now we actually broke structure to the downside on the daily. So definitely this, I'm looking for shorts on NZD/USD. We have this level that can potentially get retested on the daily, but currently again our daily lower high is this one, so make sure to mark it at 0.73. Dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, beautiful long opportunity right here that I missed, and I'm super pissed of missing those trades. But again, building a story, I was looking for this level to get fulfilled. Why? Because this is when we had this massive push to the downside. So basically this is a simple supply area where a lot of orders entered into the market, and if the market taps inside such an area, there is a very high chance that it's gonna react. All right, but then building the story from the downside, we had this lower high, the market pushed lower, created a double bottom, then we broke structure, and then we came for a perfect retest. All right, so this is where you actually go to examine how you can enter, and basically the entry was on that break and retest right here. This one retested, so it was pretty nice. And then if you drop to the 50-minute time frame, you can go and examine how you can enter. Again, we had this push, a break of structure on the left, and a retest. So again, it depends where you place your structure. Personally, I like to look for the extremes. This one did not get tapped. This one actually got tapped. Maybe so for a little bit of a drawdown and have a bigger stop loss. It's perfectly fine. Then we actually break this structure to the upside. This one, break above, and again we had another retest, which could have been an entry, but I didn't take this one, and then we again continued to carry on to the upside. Another thing that I had as I built that story in tapping into that supply area is I wanted to take a short, right? So I dropped to a time frame lower in order to take this one, and I was just seeing how the market was developing. All right, as you can see, we strongly tapped inside, and have a look at the reaction. All right, so again, all of those things that we see on the daily, 4-hourly, hourly, it repeats on the 5 and on the 1 minute. We have this strong push below to the downside. What does that mean? Is that there are a lot of sellers entering from that area. So basically, I marked this overall zone, and I wanted to enter from here. And again, my greedy side was like, okay, I want to get that sniper, so I had my entry something like this. I actually didn't have it exactly on the zone, but a little bit below, and then my stop loss was I think it was 5 pips. I placed it a little bit above. So basically I had an order on this one, and I missed it. It missed my entry, it pushed to the downside. Then I didn't want to enter right there on the retest because my stop loss then would have been again higher, so I basically missed out on a 1 to 10. But I had members that actually took it as this wick was pushing up with a little bit higher stop loss, but it is much better to actually be in the trade rather than miss it like this. So again, another point for myself to work on. And then going back to the analysis, you can see that we're currently sitting at a daily lower high. Actually, this is the daily lower high. The market fulfilled a full hourly level. But right now, the question is it ready to create that big downtrend to the downside in terms of a weekly time frame? Well, not sure, because currently we are retesting this level right there. As you can see, we tapped inside and the market is already reacting. We have this major high as well that you want to mark on your chart. So basically the market is stuck inside this area right here. And then again, if we translate to the daily, you can see that we just created a potential lower high. So maybe the market is actually going to go and start creating lower lows. And if it does this, then potentially we have to wait for a pullback and a continuation down. But what the market could do as well is it can retest that area, hit higher, maybe to revisit that area, or maybe to revisit the highs again, and then to potentially flush. So definitely I'm gonna give Monday to this one to develop, see how it wants to go. Maybe if it taps inside again that area, if it creates a support, break, retest, we can head higher, maybe even for a higher high, maybe to target those areas around 73, because 73 can definitely get retested. If you go to the hourly time frame, have a look at that little consolidation that hasn't been retested basically. So we can definitely go for those areas. So a lot of opportunities could be presented on the NZDs. I am just waiting a little bit for more price action and to really try to build a story as the market opens. And NJ, same story. This can definitely head higher because, again, very simple. All the JPYs were actually the same. All of them had their, all of them had that big consolidation that broke above, came for a retest, failed to break above, came for another retest. So definitely not rushing to trade that one. I'm not trading actually those pairs right now, but yeah, definitely looks like longs, but I want to see some more signs. On the hourly time frame, we have a double top that signifies sellers. Right there, we're currently retesting that area, pulling back a little bit. So basically what I want to see is the market come back down again. Show me support, show me break of structure on the 15-minute retest, and then potentially we can go higher to maybe make a higher high above those, above that double top. All right. So NZD/JPY looking for something more, and of course NU as well. Same story. Like I want to see them actually support from that area and show me some bullish sentiment. All right, let's jump into some USD, starting from UJ. This one definitely needs a pullback. And again, I keep saying, have a look at all of that balanced price action right there. A couple of, yeah, this is actually more than a year. And then all of a sudden we start strongly pumping into the upside, engulfing all of that structure right there on the left. All right, so we're basically really headed higher. I'm not sure where. We are currently tapping inside that area that I think I mentioned in the previous volume as well. Then the next one to tap is this one, definitely. So two levels to monitor. First one is actually 109, and then the second one is 111. Potentially there is a big range between those two. So definitely let's see how the market is reacting at that area. We currently have a little bit of a double top, and I definitely want to see this go a little bit lower, all right? Because we have a lot of levels on the daily like this currently. Yeah, this could be our major daily, or this little wick right there, this little candle could be our daily. But if I drop to the line chart, this is the most clear one. This is just a little pullback before a push up. So basically this pair has to do a lot of pullback. All right, then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, actually it's remained bullish. So we have this higher low right there as the market strongly pushed. We tap inside, we reacted. We tap inside, reacted, tap inside, and it kind of got a little bit complex right there. And then we actually broke above and broke structure on the left. So still, this one is bullish. All right, it is bullish. We're currently kind of wicking inside that area right there. But definitely I am not trading UJ right now. It's way too high to be taking like very long-term longs. So if you're trading this one, make sure to drop a time frame lower and really see for some intraday setups. But this is the price action that we had this week. Basically all of that consolidation, and it was definitely not nice to be traded. Right now on Friday, we had that push to the upside. I'm not sure what does that signify. Is it trying right now to trick buyers into the market? Because right now everyone is long on this break and retest, on this break and retest as well. And this one can definitely start flushing because we are way too high. And if you remember, we have that daily very nice supply area on the left and 109 round number as well. So definitely on UJ, I have no bias on this one. I just want to see what it wants to do. Currently, we're just sitting in the middle. I don't want to take a double top right there. I can take it if the market taps, shows me the reversal, comes back, and then potentially reverse. And this could happen on the hourly as well. But currently, the hourly is just consolidating. Therefore, let's give some time on UJ. Don't rush because currently it's starting to distribute potentially before heading lower. So it's possibly going to take some time and is awaiting a new news release as well. So let's be patient. A very nice bearish week on USD CAD. As you can see, we started with a little bit of a wick to the upside and then we flushed all the way down. And basically all of that flushed happened on the last 2 days, I believe. Yeah, exactly. As you can see, we started on 8th of March with a indecision candle. Then we actually created a high again, pushed lower, but failed. But you can see how we're starting to trade lower. We started bullish, bearish, then a final liquidity grab with this week, closed bearish, and then Thursday and Friday really nicely dropped to the downside. And basically right now we're tapping into daily support. So let's see if we're actually gonna break below this level right there. Let's mark it out to potentially create a lower low. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, you can see all of that consolidation, basically very tricky market. Then we broke below, pullback. So basically I think this is your only opportunity personally for me this week in order to take a short, and this happened on Friday. And I'm not trading Fridays too much, so definitely missed out on this one. But then as you can see, even from an hourly perspective, right there we have this run that we broke structure, pullback, lower high, lower high, lower high right there, lower high right here. So basically you could have taken a lot of shorts inside this area right here. But I don't trade UCAD. It's not one of my favorite pairs, but definitely you can go and examine how you could get inside those lower highs, potentially here. This one was pretty clear to me, because it created a nice push to the upside, consolidated, broke structure, retested. So basically the entry would have been right there. And this could have been a beautiful short. And I actually had a member from the community that took that short as a 2.0 setup. So it was an amazing trade right there for a Friday. And as you can see, we're tapping inside this daily low and we were already reacting. So in terms of what could be expected, I think the daily has to pull back a little bit because we're currently in that push phase. So definitely even on the 4-hourly, yeah, but basically on the 4-hourly, we already have a lower high. That is this one. So as long as we stay below it, we are going short. But first, I'm going to wait for a pullback and then a potential short opportunity. In terms of on the hourly time frame, nothing much to note. We're having this big push. Therefore, I'm going to be waiting for the pullback and then potentially take a short on UCAD. Is USD Swiss franc ready for a reversal? Well, we don't know. We're having 3 weeks of massive bullishness right now, and we have a nice indecision candle right there on top. So definitely we have to give it some time and see. On the daily time frame, we're having this extended leg to the upside. We created a little bit of a pullback, all right? But is that enough for a higher low in order to create a higher high? Again, we don't know. Potential daily levels to be retested is this level right there. We have a little one right here, but again, those are one of those minor levels that I don't like too much. But then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, we can see that those are basically higher lows as well. So that is perfectly fine. But in terms of 4-hourly price action, you can see that we started with that nice push to the downside. We created a little bit of a complex correction right there, and then we dropped lower, which basically created a lower low, which made this our major lower high. And then actually on Friday, we came to react from it, and currently we are rejecting it, all right? So still, if you look at it, it looks like an inverse head and shoulders as well to potentially head higher, but still it looks like a double top to potentially head lower and start retesting those areas right there and eventually coming into the full hourly levels right here as well. So definitely very curious to see what's going to happen on USD Swiss. It's not a pair that I trade, but definitely I'm going to be mindful of this area. So let's see how does it react. Maybe the hourly time frame is going to come and test it again. If it actually breaks hourly structure, comes back for a retest, then I'm going to be looking for the trade, all right? Because we have the 4-hourly level, the hourly time frame is still bullish. So if it comes again inside, if it shows resistance, if it breaks most recent structure, let's say this is our recent structure, then comes back for a retest, that's when I'm going to be taking the short. So USD Swiss, let's just wait for a little bit and see what's going to happen, but looking more for shorts rather than longs. All right, let's have a look at the GBPs, as always starting with GU and build that long-term picture. So very similar to EU, we are currently tapping inside those very strong levels of supply. Basically right here we have 1.40 and 1.42 as well. So basically it's a big range of 200 pips that the market is currently eventually going to react. And as you can see how slowly the market climbed towards that area, and basically I think currently it's cooking for a nice push to the downside, something like this. It will be really nice to see that. Then dropping to the daily time frame, we can see that it's slowly starting to break structure. All right, because as you can see, this is our most recent daily high low and it got broken. So this is really important to note. All right, we have a broken daily structure, which basically makes this our major daily lower high that the market is currently tapping inside and eventually going to push lower. All right, but definitely we have some empty space to get filled right there, eventually to retest this area of around 40.80. So let's have a look on the 4-hourly time frame. What do we have? So yeah, basically it was the same price action as we had on AU and EU, this break of structure and that retest to potentially take a long. I missed that one and I haven't traded GU this week because after this move, it kind of got really messy. If you drop to the hourly time frame, like we have all of those consolidations right there. I really don't like this. I really don't like this overall price action, like really wicky, really slow. It's not nice. It's basically manipulative price action that is gonna get broken sooner or later. But what was actually a nice opportunity is this very strong level right there that the market tapped inside to precision of 1.40. All right, we tapped 1.40 right there, and then we strongly reacted, but this was basically on Friday during Asian session, so I didn't take this one, unfortunately, but this is the only trade that I actually saw for GU. So again, a little bit patience is required because currently we are tapping inside this area. That is a 4 hourly higher low, all right? And we are reacting from it. So what we can also do is we can create a double bottom and head higher towards those areas right there that I said on the daily. Maybe we're gonna revisit 1.41 before creating that push to the downside. So definitely I am giving some time on GU to show me where he wants to go, because currently the 4 hourly for me is bullish. All right, the hourly time frame could be changing right now, but I'm more focused on the 4 hourly time frame, and definitely I will need to see a break below this structure right now in order to start taking shorts, right? And then as for targets, we have plenty of areas to be looking for targets. The first one will be this one, 37 handle, and then the next one will be the extreme right there around 36. So basically we have a lot of pips to the downside if eventually this one shows me that it really wants to go down. All right, so let's have a look if the market could actually come again into 1.40. We can monitor for further sells. If it breaks above, then we can definitely start taking longs towards 41, but definitely it requires a little bit more time and a little bit more development, because it's been really tricky this week. We broke below all of that structures right now, so basically it's starting to turn bearish. But first of all, I will need to see maybe something like this, a pullback, lower high, a confirmed lower low, and then basically I'm gonna start selling it. All right, so let's give some time to GU to develop, and then we can potentially reevaluate again. So make sure that you stay tuned for my Tuesday analysis, where I'm gonna have Monday's price action and I'm gonna give you a fresh outlook again. As for GJ, again, I am not a big fan of this price action. Like, it's really nice creating an uptrend, but it's kind of getting a little bit corrective, right? And this shows me that it's currently traveling towards some sort of a level, which I'm not sure which one is it. Because even if I drop to the daily time frame, this is way too on the left. Maybe this one, who knows? This is 152. Again, I'm not sure if this level is significant. We are still yet to see. And as you can see, the daily, we're having those small candles building to the top. On the 4 hourly time frame, we are still bullish as well. Basically, you could have taken longs on that pair this week, but then if I drop to the hourly time frame, this was the push, this was the pullback. Again, very similar to all of the JPYs. They were stuck in that consolidation, but then we broke above, we retested. So this is the opportunity that you could have taken on the 11th of March. And then we pushed higher, similar to GU, we fake above and we strongly break below, retesting already. So definitely I am very curious to see how Monday is gonna open for this one. Why? Because we're still in a bullish market on the 4 hourly. This is our major higher low that is currently getting retested, and this is our major higher high, and the market is currently sitting in the middle. All right, so basically a very nice confirmation for me will be maybe the market is going to create a wick on top to revisit those areas again, break the major structure right there, come back for the retest, and then we can potentially start heading lower. All right, so again guys, the GBPs, as all the other pairs, need some time. They need Monday to open to really show me where they want to go, and then potentially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday I am going to be executing. But definitely I need to see more sellers coming from GJ and even GU, so let's give them some time. In terms of GA, I'm sure most of you that are watching me regularly, you know that I don't trade this pair, and yeah, I don't do that. Basically, it's not a pair that to my personality. It creates big swings, and I usually don't trade swings. I'm more of an intraday trader, so this makes this pair pretty hard for me to trade, because you can see like it strongly pushes up, strongly pushes down, big swing, massive swing up, massive swing down, and then it starts to chop around. And basically, if you have a look, we're just trading inside this overall consolidation. So I'm not loving this pair, and currently if I try to break the 4 hourly time frame, it just doesn't make sense to me. All right, it broke structure, high, break of structure down, lower high, lower highs. So very hard to actually find where the major structure is. I would actually take this one. All right, maybe I can consult the daily what is happening, but even the daily is not clear. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to force something. We have this very strong area right there that got respected right now. So basically what I want to see if I'm trading this pair is just a clear direction, because it's moving up, right? It created 5 ways, right now it's moving down, and we can potentially start moving up again. All right, but I want to see this. So definitely if I drop to the hourly time frame, we are perfectly bearish, right? What you gotta do on the hourly time frame is to find your major structure, which is right here, and eventually if the market breaks above, comes back for a retest, then you can look for the longs. All right, so again, as all the pairs, I think even GA needs some time to develop in order to clearly see where it wants to go. But moreover, I'm looking for longs rather than shorts, because you can see that the overall swings, big swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down, we can definitely create another swing to the upside. So let's see, let me know what your view on GA is in the comments. Euro GBP, big consolidation right there since Monday. Actually, Monday pushed a little bit to the downside, and a whole week of consolidation. So basically nothing to discuss on that one. If I drop to the daily, we're currently creating a little bit of a daily pullback. So this can definitely pull back a little bit more to create a lower high before heading lower. Dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, I can see that this right there, this is where the actual move started. We created a lower high, consolidated, and this is when we actually started to pump. This is not a major level, meaning that it might not be a very strong area to react from, but basically what you can see is a whole week of consolidation. Right now we have a little bit of a breakout, so we can definitely have a little retest of a broken structure, head inside this area, and then from there we can start taking shorts. So this could be a potential play on Euro GBP. So let's see if this is actually gonna happen, but nothing much interesting on the GBPs. My main focus in GU right now, and yeah, definitely looking for some more development from this pair. It hasn't been the cleanest pair this week. EU, AU, NU were much better, so definitely let's see how the overall picture actually looks like on Monday, and then we can potentially start striking. Let's have a quick look on gold, which is finding very nice support from the 1700s level. So that is really nice to see. On the weekly time frame, we're having this sort of a bullish candle, right? So this signifies that some buyers are starting to step up. But we have on the daily a very nice downtrend right there. So basically, if you actually have a careful look, this is our daily lower high. So let's mark it out around 1740. But right now on the 4-hourly time frame, we have a first break of structure, a clear one. All right, so we had this swing lower high, lower low, break of the lower high, little retest, higher high again, and right now we had that deep pullback right there. So currently, what I want to figure out is this market gonna continue higher? All right, because we broke this structure right there, we retested it, we made the high, but right now we're breaking below this lower high. So is this a signal for a reversal, or is it just a deep pullback? All right, the extreme level is right here, this zone. This is where the actual move started. So maybe the market is actually going to revisit that level first before heading higher. So currently gold is sitting at a very a very specific area, because we can potentially start looking for reversals while the market is overall trending to the downside. All right, so definitely have that daily lower high marked. We can actually make it a 4-hourly level as well, something like this. And yeah, eventually we can have a little pullback into the beginning of the week. The market can react. If it breaks the highs, pulls back, then we can potentially start heading higher. And this will depend on the DXY as well. If the DXY starts to weaken a little bit, then we can see gold starting to push up. So definitely very curious to see what's gonna happen. Let me know what your outlook on gold is in the comments. Are you expecting longs right now, or you still think that there is some downside left for it? All right, stocks are soaring again. We can see US30, a massive bullish week right there. It is really massive, printing the money, and the stock starting to do good. But again, how long is this gonna last? I think definitely we have some more downside. But yeah, then again on the daily, we're having a massive high right there, all-time highs as well. So definitely I'm gonna be looking for some sort of a pullback. But again, you can see that we actually had that pullback right there, really nicely developed, and right now we are in a nice uptrend. Then again, if you follow the 4-hourly time frame, we have this break and retest of structure. Right now we're having this break of structure that hasn't been retested. So definitely we can start creating a little bit of a downtrend before heading higher again. But I'm not an expert on the indices. I personally don't trade it. I'm just monitoring them for my investments in order to pick a great time to actually put some money in. Then for NASDAQ, it is changing structure on the 4-hourly, which is really nice to see. But then again, from the daily, it is a little bit bearish yet still. All right, we had this massive bull run right there. Then we started to break structure below, and so basically your daily lower high is this one right here. So definitely, as long as the market stays below that one, we are still trading to the downside. But again, we start seeing some first signs, as I said, from the 4-hourly time frame, that it is starting to reverse. So definitely you can see that we created a push, pullback, higher high, higher low. Definitely the market can make a higher high. It can react from that level on the left. We can pull back to retest structure, and then potentially, if the stocks are doing good, we can continue trading higher. And then S&P as well, I missed that buy down there, and currently we're actually breaking even 4-hourly structure and even daily structure as well. So this one is pretty clear that it is already in a, not in a reversal stage, but we just broke the structure. And if we examine where the most recent higher low is, it is right there. This one, actually, let's make it more of a zone like this, a supply zone, demand. We massively pushed up, pull back a little bit. So basically right now we have to break this higher high in order to confirm that this is our higher low. But definitely a very bullish outlook on the stocks. For how long they're gonna go like this, we never know. So I really hope some of you managed to buy that dip right there, put some money into the stocks. Personally, I missed it, and I missed my monthly investment on March. But of course, there are always some stocks that are still haven't recovered from that dip, so there is always somewhere to put money in. All right, let me know what you are watching for some investments. Right, so guys, this is how I'm gonna wrap up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment below. I always love hearing from you guys. It really means a lot and keeps me motivated. Of course, make sure to check the free course, it's down in the description. And as always, I wish you a very relaxing weekend, and make sure to prepare for the week ahead. Let Monday play out. Make sure to stay tuned for the Tuesday analysis on Telegram, and I wish you a crushing week and see you on my next video.